Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Grace Holland. This morning, the UNC Board of Trustees are expected to meet and approve the contract to hire Bill Belichick as the university's next football coach. The Tar Heels announced the legendary coach agreed to a 5-year deal. That's a move that has made national headlines. It's about 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday night as we are recording this. It has been a day of a lot of anticipation around this story. WRAL's Aaron Thomas is joining me by phone from Chapel Hill. Aaron, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Grace.
So let's start with this announcement that came out this evening. What are the details of this deal according to the team?
So, of course, I know a lot of officials are still ironing out most of the details, but from what we've gathered thus far, we know that this is a 5-year deal. We've seen some reports to the tune of $30 million. Of course, that's pending approval from the Board of Trustees. And just to give some of the listeners some perspective, their now former head coach, Mack Brown, was making anywhere from $5 million. So when you think about $30 million, that's a lot of money to attract a legendary talent such as Bill Belichick. This is actually considered a landmark hire for UNC. The director of athletics for Carolina, Bubba Cunningham, was saying how, where football is now, you have to be competitive. You have to think about how college athletics is changing when you think about where NIL is right now, and a lot of these changes require new and innovative ways of thinking. So they're hoping that by hiring someone like a Bill Belichick, this will help them remain competitive in this attractive sport.
Right. And, of course, Belichick's sort of in a league of his own when it comes to his level of talent and respect as a coach in the NFL. I want to just roll through some stats here because I don't want to assume that everyone listening is a big football fan. I know we've been talking a lot about football on the podcast lately. We're not becoming a sports podcast, folks, I promise, but this is just such a huge deal. You probably, if you're listening, knew that Belichick had those 6 Super Bowl wins as head coach of the New England Patriots, but he also, as a record, had 333 NFL career wins. 31 of those are playoff wins. And before he was at the Patriots, he did 5 seasons with the Cleveland Browns and then those 24 with the Patriots. So, Aaron, with all of that said, do we have a sense of what is drawing Belichick to UNC?
There's a few factors at hand here. So for one, this really gives him a chance to put his stamp on a different way of coaching in a different arena, if you will. Of course, he already made a name for himself in the NFL professional world, but now this gives him a chance to enter an evolving sport and change that sport and bring a taste of NFL to college sports. In fact, he actually said that he has always wanted a chance to coach on the collegiate level. He actually said in a statement through Carolina, he said that he's excited for the opportunity to coach at UNC Chapel Hill. And we also learned that he grew up around UNC with his dad, who served as an assistant football coach for the Tar Heels from 1953 to 1955.
All right, so kind of a homecoming for him. All right, let's take a quick break right there, and we'll be right back. Aaron, this has gotten some pretty big reaction in the sports world, of course, but here in North Carolina, this is just a really big cultural moment, I think, for the state and especially for Tar Heel Nation. Governor Roy Cooper chimed in as the deal was developing earlier on Wednesday.
You know what? That gets the Tar Heels on Sports Center every other night.
It sure does.
It's going to put them in the national conversation. I don't know what the terms of the contract are and all of that, but it'll have people talking about Carolina football. And usually when you talk about sports, you're talking about Carolina basketball or Carolina women's soccer or Carolina women's field hockey. But Carolina football hasn't gotten the attention lately. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out, if it in fact does, because I don't know for sure yet as we sit here and talk right now.
What was the vibe, though, among students and fans in Chapel Hill on Wednesday as all of these details came together?
Yeah, so the overall sentiment is that they're hopeful for a complete 180 or turnaround of the football program. And, I think a lot of people are still remembering how this current football season went, and they're just hoping someone like a Bill Belichick can just kind of turn it over on its head, and this just makes them more competitive and give them an advantage.
And I feel like maybe just his name could help bring in transfers and other recruits, because, like, hey, we have a Super Bowl winning coach over here. He knows how to get you to the NFL. I feel like that could help out.
I'm excited. I grew up as a Patriots fan. I'm from Massachusetts, so especially with Drake May on the Patriots now, it kind of feels like worlds colliding for me, and I'm excited about it.
It would be super cool because, like, this is a sports school, and, like, just seeing, like, what's going on with women's soccer and, like, basketball and stuff, I think just bringing more to sports at UNC would be really cool.
I actually texted one of my friends who graduated from UNC back in 2023, and he's like, wow, I'm really surprised. I had no idea with a Mac Brown going out that the university would attract someone like a Bill Belichick, but he's hopeful for the program. We've heard that term kind of tossed around quite a bit amongst alums and current students, that they're hopeful for what's to come for this program.
Actually, we also are getting some reaction now from Tom Brady. He's congratulating Coach Belichick and saying the Tar Heel way is about to become a thing. So he certainly believes, and obviously high praise from him, having been such a massive part of Belichick's legacy with the Patriots. So a lot of exciting things going on there. What can people expect to play out on Thursday?
So at this point, yeah, it's definitely a waiting game, and a lot of stuff is waiting to be finalized by the UNC Board of Trustees. They're expected to meet Thursday morning to approve this contract, and as you know, this is a necessary step in formalizing this hire. But of course, you know, will this officially be a done deal in the morning? Will it play out in the afternoon? Of course, we'll be keeping our eyes and ears to the ground, just kind of figuring out what's happening next. But definitely an exciting time for anyone who's a Carolina fan.
Definitely. Okay, thank you so much, Aaron, and thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download. Another great way to get WRAL news is the Morning Briefing newsletter. It's a daily email with Triangle news, events, and headlines to help you get ready for the day. Sign up at WRAL.com/newsletter.